What is the meaning of life? It's one of the deepest and most ancient questions we've ever asked. People have wondered about it while staring at the stars, sitting in temples, walking through forests, or lying awake at 2 a.m. in silence. Why are we here? Is there a reason, a purpose, or is life just a random spark in an uncaring universe? In this video, we'll explore the question of life's meaning, not from just one point of view, but from many: science, philosophy, religion, psychology, and personal experience. This is not just a lecture, it's an exploration. So wherever you are, take a deep breath, and let's begin the journey. Let's begin with the scientific view, a perspective that often gets misunderstood when it comes to meaning. According to modern cosmology, the universe began 13.8 billion years ago with the Big Bang. From a tiny singularity, space and time itself expanded, and with it came the birth of stars, galaxies, and eventually, life. About 4.5 billion years ago, Earth formed, a young, violent world full of storms, lava, and lightning. And in this chaos, something incredible happened. The right chemicals, under the right conditions, gave rise to self-replicating molecules, the building blocks of life. Fast forward a few billion years, and those simple molecules evolved into complex life. Cells, plants, animals, humans. This process, evolution by natural selection, is blind. It doesn't have goals or intentions. It's just a mechanism that favors traits which increase survival and reproduction. So, from a biological standpoint, the purpose of life is simple: survive and reproduce, pass on your genes, ensure your lineage continues. But here's the twist: we are not just animals. We're the only species known to reflect on life itself, to write poetry, design rockets, question existence. So even though biology gives us the how, it doesn't answer the why, and that's where science reaches its limits. Physics can explain the atoms that make up your body. Biology can explain how your brain evolved. But the question of meaning isn't just chemical, it's emotional, existential, even spiritual. As astrophysicist Carl Sagan once said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." Science tells us where we came from, not necessarily why we're here. If science can explain the mechanics of life, philosophy tries to explain its purpose. Philosophers have asked this question for thousands of years, and they've come up with a wide range of answers. Let's start with the ancient Greeks. Aristotle believed the purpose of life was to reach eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or the good life. For him, this meant living virtuously, using reason, and fulfilling your potential. In contrast, the Epicureans believed life's meaning came from seeking pleasure, not wild indulgence, but peace, friendship, and freedom from fear. Then there were the Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, who believed in aligning oneself with nature and accepting what we cannot control. Life's meaning wasn't in changing the world, but in changing ourselves. Jump ahead to modern philosophy, and the conversation gets darker and deeper. Friedrich Nietzsche challenged the idea of external meaning. He declared, "God is dead," and warned of a world without inherent values. But he didn't stop at despair. He urged people to create their own meaning, to live courageously as individuals shaping their destiny. Then came existentialism, a movement led by thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. They argued that life has no predetermined meaning. And that's exactly why it's meaningful. In the face of a meaningless universe, we have the power and responsibility to give our lives meaning. Camus compared life to the myth of Sisyphus, condemned to roll a boulder uphill forever. Absurd, yes, but still worth doing. Why? Because we are free to choose our attitude. So, what does philosophy tell us? That life may not come with a manual, but it offers the freedom to write your own. Now let's take a look inside the human mind. Psychology has long studied the role of meaning in human well-being, and what it's discovered is powerful. Let's begin with Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist who survived the horrors of the Holocaust. In the camps, he observed something extraordinary. Some people survived despite terrible suffering, and others gave up quickly. The difference? Meaning. Frankl wrote in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, that those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. He believed that life's meaning isn't something you stumble upon by accident. It's something you find through responsibility, love, and facing suffering with dignity. Modern psychology backs this up. Studies show that people who feel their lives have purpose, live longer, are more resilient, experience less depression and anxiety, enjoy stronger relationships. And here's the interesting part. Meaning doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't require changing the world. It can be found in small acts, caring for your family, creating something, helping others, growing as a person, even enjoying the present moment. According to psychologist Martin Seligman, meaning is one of the key pillars of well-being, along with engagement, relationships, and achievement. In short, a meaningful life doesn't have to be extraordinary, it just has to feel authentic. Across cultures and continents, billions of people turn to religion and spirituality for answers to life's biggest questions. Let's take a look at a few different perspectives. In Christianity, life's meaning is rooted in God. Humans are seen as created with purpose, to love God, love others, and live according to His will. Life is a test, a journey, and a preparation for eternal life. Islam shares a similar foundation. Life is a trust from Allah. We are here to worship, to serve, to do good, and to return to our Creator with a clean heart. Hinduism teaches the idea of dharma, your moral duty, and the path to moksha, or liberation from the cycle of birth and rebirth. Buddhism, on the other hand, sees life as suffering caused by desire and attachment. The meaning of life, then, is to transcend that suffering, to awaken, to become enlightened. Judaism emphasizes life as a sacred responsibility, filled with learning, justice, and community. Despite their differences, all major religions offer a few common themes: that life is more than just physical existence, that our actions matter, that love, compassion, and humility are central, and that there's something greater than ourselves, whether it's God, the universe, or inner peace. Even people who aren't religious often describe feeling a kind of spiritual meaning when they look at nature, when they fall in love, or when they experience awe. So whether you find meaning in God, in goodness, or in growth, spirituality often fills the part of us that science can't. We've looked at science, philosophy, psychology, and religion. Each offers insight, but none gives a single final answer. So what now? Now, we turn to you, because meaning isn't something handed to you. It's something you create. And how do we do that? We start by asking the right questions. What makes me feel alive? What values do I stand for? Who do I want to help? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Some people find meaning in family, others in art, knowledge, spirituality, or service. Some find it in overcoming struggle, others in enjoying life fully, with gratitude and presence. And here's the truth. Meaning isn't always about being happy. It's about feeling connected to something larger than yourself, to other people, to a mission, to love, to truth, to growth. Your life may not have a single grand purpose, but it can have thousands of small moments of purpose, woven together like a tapestry. And in the end, those moments may be the meaning itself. So, what is the meaning of life? Maybe it's to explore, to grow, to love, to create. Maybe it's to ask the question itself. Or maybe life has no fixed meaning. But that's not a tragedy. It's an invitation to live intentionally, to find what matters to you, to write your own story. The truth is, we may never know the ultimate answer, but maybe, just maybe, the act of seeking it is what makes us human. So the next time you look up at the stars or sit quietly with your thoughts, remember, you are part of something vast. You are here. You are alive. And that in itself is extraordinary. Don't forget to follow for more updates.